So today we are going to do how to attempt complaint letters in IELTS General Task 1. Complaint letters. What does it mean? First of all, we should understand this is a letter which is being written against a faulty product, poor service, or problem with any services being provided to you. So, whenever you write a complaint letter, there are three things that we have to always do. First of all, as discussed in the last video, we have to clearly state the purpose of the letter. That means you have to mention why are you writing and you have to state the nature of your complaint. For example, we have I'm writing to complain about the poor service I received at your restaurant last week. After mentioning that, second thing that you have to cover is provide specific details about the problem, because without that the reader will not be able to identify what problem, when and where it happened. So make sure that you answer the questions like when, where and what went wrong. For example, I made a reservation for 7 p.m. on 20th November, but I was not seated until 7:45, causing considerable inconvenience. This makes sure that your problem has been explained in detail with right words. Now, once you have stated your problem, definitely if you're writing a letter, you must be looking for some resolution. So, your letter should always end with a request for resolution. So, make sure that you state what you expect to be done to address the issue. For example, I would appreciate if you could provide a refund for my meal or offer a discount on my next visit. So this makes sure that what you want is clearly told to the reader. Now moving on to the next slide. Herein we have tried to put some phrases which can help you to start your writings. So these are the phrases which are only the beginners of the sentences. However, the content has to always be yours. So starting with the first one, we have openings or introduction, wherein our aim is to start the letter politely and clearly state the reason of our complaint. So for doing so, we may use the phrases like I am writing to express my dissatisfaction with, or I am writing to complain about, I would like to bring your attention towards, or even I am writing regarding the poor service I have received for. So these phrases may help to start up your topic. Thereafter, definitely you have to describe the issue. So for that, you may use the words like I was very disappointed with. Yet, to my surprise, the product or the service did not meet my expectations. Or, I encountered a problem with this thing. So, these phrases come up with your problems but with a polite tone, which helps you to definitely score high in your IELTS exam. Thereafter, after explaining your problem, definitely you have to request for some action or resolution. So, making it more humble and polite, we may use the words like, I would appreciate if you could. I would like to request a refund for. Or, I would be grateful if you could. Or, I expect a refund, apology, or a solution as soon as possible. So, again, you're asking what you want the other person to do, but in a gentle manner, in a humble manner. Then we have to have a closing remark wherein you have to express your hope for the resolutions. So, you may use the words like, I look forward to hearing from you, or I hope you receive a prompt reply on this matter. I would appreciate your immediate attention to this complaint, and so on. And yes, your letter should end up with a signing off statement like yours sincerely if you know the reader, yours faithfully if you do not know the reader, and best regards if it is a formal letter. Then I have one sample answer on the screen just to explain you what phrases I have used and what is the purpose behind. So this is a simple letter wherein we were dissatisfied with the services received at a restaurant and we are writing them a letter and expecting a refund for the meal that we had. So, to start up, I said, Dear sir or madam. Why? Because I do not know who the manager is. Then I wrote, I am writing to express my dissatisfaction with the service I received at your restaurant on November 2024. So, I am writing to express my dissatisfaction is a common opening phrase for a formal letter. Now, I started my next paragraph with the phrase, to my surprise. I had a reservation for 7, but I had to wait for 30 minutes before being seated. So, to start this sentence, when I use the word to my surprise, it has actually softened the tone of my complaint. So, that is why I have used this phrase. Moving further, additionally, the food I ordered, the chicken, was undercooked and I had to wait for another 20 minutes for it to be prepared. This caused considerable inconvenience as I had another commitments that evening. So now what I used? Considerable inconvenience. So it is clearly outlining the negative impact it had on my life. Right? Now, after making the complaint, I have to make a request. So I used a polite tone like I would appreciate if you could offer an apology or a refund for the meal that was not up to the standard I expected. Thereafter comes the closing line. I just wrote, I look forward to hearing from you, encouraging a timely response. So, this is how make sure that you do your complaint letters. DM for any queries if you have, and if you want your writings to be checked. Thank you.